Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Shepard, and I'm joined by the Duchess of Duluth.
Hi.
Hi. Our sweetest friend, Adam Scott, is here today.
Yeah.
We discovered, which I would have not guessed.
Yeah.
I forget now, but
7.
in 7? Yeah, in the interview, we realized he was the 7th guest.
It does feel like it's been a long time since he's come on, but not that long.
No, I just didn't think he was that early. I
Yeah.
felt like we were up and running for a while, and I reached out.
Me too.
But yeah. So this is his second trip. Oh, this will be good because I remembered this. There's a point in the interview where I go, weren't you super into hip hop?
Yeah, you did.
And he's like, no.
Yes.
And I was so discombobulated by that because I'm like, I remember this.
Okay.
And it hit me after this interview. And I texted him and I was like, oh my God, you know what I think I'm confusing is, were you obsessed with Do the Right Thing and Spike Lee and started wearing African gear? And he's like, 100%.
Oh.
So that's what it was. I knew he went through a phase.
Oh.
And he was wearing like the tricolor Africa shirts and it was Do the Right Thing.
Oh.
So I wasn't totally insane. There was some connective tissue.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And also lends itself to him being a cinephile.
Yes, big
is.
time. Parks and Recreation, Stepbrothers, Big Little Lies, Party Down, The Good Place, and alas, arguably the greatest show on television, which returns to Apple TV Plus on the 17th, Severance.
I can't wait. So excited.
God, it's so good. It's so good. And I got to do the Severance podcast that they're doing,
fun.
which is really, really fun.
That's great.
Yeah. I do recommend, it's been 3 years. I have a pretty good memory. I don't remember anything. It is so worth starting it from the get-go.
Yes.
It's so enjoyable. I had forgotten so many great things about it.
I rewatched it as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, what a show.
It's fantastic.
Please enjoy Adam Scott.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Steel yourself. Is that the expression?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Steady,
Prepare
steel.
yourself.
Okay.
Thank God there's no buttons on your slacks like Carmelo Anthony.
That normally doesn't stop.
I wonder what it is
Oh,
I'm supposed to be
wow.
looking at.
Yes, this is
in this
very
photo.
nice.
You're fucking hot as hell.
It's so
Hold on,
embarrassing.
Adam. You're 1,000% sexy as fuck.
What is this from?
I've always known you've had good hair, like enviable hair, but this photo, I can't do things like you can take big swings with your hair. Would you acknowledge that?
And I would say that's a big swing, and I think it might be a bit of a miss.
No! Oh my God.
The whole thing just feels a little stupid.
No! Adam, listen to me. You can own this. Can I hold this up? Can you see that, Rob? But look at this. This is great.
You do have great hair.
Fuck, you have good
thanks.
hair.
You're welcome.
I'm stealing this from Arnett. He would call it the 40-yard stare, like that Vietnam.
Yeah, the like middle distance stare.
Yeah. Like, am I seeing a sniper in the background that you're not?
Right. Me and Pratt used to do it on
I'm trying to make this impossible for you
on
to put
park.
your
Sorry,
arm up.
I just moved it out of the way. Where we
Let's
would,
get this fucking thing out of my face.
it would be about like saying something stupid to each other and then just kind of breaking into. And it's like, what exactly? There is like this middle distance where it's so clear. I wasn't looking at anything. It was just look over there.
Yeah.
That's maybe part of why it's embarrassing.
No.
You're so self-deprecating. It's a gorgeous picture.
It is. I don't think I'm
just gorgeous.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
By the way, it's so different in here than
know,
where we.
right?
Oh, sure. Let's take a second to process
How
this.
long have you been in here?
3 months.
Because I listen to the show. I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, take it in. First of all, Rob did all of this.
It's really nice.
Can you
it's
believe-
like homey.
Yeah,
you.
it is.
and well designed. I know you have impeccable taste.
Thank you.
Monica.
But this wasn't me. This was not me. This was all Rob.
It's really lovely.
Yeah, you can almost forget, right? That's the dream.
Yeah, it's nice. And you got the camera like sort of like hidden. It's really nice.
Orna style.
Well, we have overs in this podcast, which people don't have
do have
over. They
overs.
line up in a line.
Overs. It's so good.
We've stolen.
You're a director. You know these things.
What if I said I'm a director at heart?
Ew.
That's gross. I'm a storyteller at heart.
Oh, that's worse.
Storyteller.
That part's worse.
I'm even scared to admit out loud how much I hate that because so many people I love I've heard use that term.
I know.
And it's true. We are story animals.
Stop it. Just cut it out. Since the dawn of man, we've gathered around the fire. We tell stories. We can stop saying that.
Yeah, I would like to stop.
Yeah,
Don't you? You've seen people you love say it, right?
of course.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure I've said it. I mean, Jesus.
You just
We're
run
gonna
out
pull
of
it
things.
for the fact check. The clip of both of you saying it.
Like 1,000 times each.
A stream of
Is there any other current
words that piss me off.
Aphorism.
Yeah.
nomenclature that's rubbing you the wrong way?
I have too much of it to the degree that I'm not proud of myself.
Too much of what?
I am hypersensitive to words people are using
Yeah.
in pop culture.
Yep.
And to the degree that I have to be a little self-reflective and go like, this is the kid in high school that thought all the popular like I'm still looking
Yeah.
for reasons that all the popular kids have their code.
Yeah,
You feel left out.
I got that.
I think that's why it's
Yeah.
such an acute, because Monica will tell you, I've called out words like artisanal. The second artisanal, I said, you watch, that's going to be on a fucking Arby's sign. It wasn't on Arby's, but it was on Subway.
Sure.
My current one I'm tracking is atelier. This is the new word.
Wait, I don't know this one.
Great. You're getting it on the ground
You
floor.
do know it. It just means like a shop.
You don't know
It
it.
just means a nice
It's like
shop.
Apothecary was like
Yeah, for instead
bubbled
of
up a
pharmacy.
few years ago in
Yes.
the wrong places.
Yes. Atelier, which I learned this from Monica. This is like a small, bespoke, handcrafted luxury item.
Whoa.
And it's the studio for it, right?
Right.
Which I'm fine with those Italians having their ateliers or
Yeah.
French,
Yeah,
whatever
it's where
it is.
the designer actually makes the
Sure.
items. It's
Sure.
a real word.
Sure. But we don't use it to describe the sandwich shop in Beverly Hills.
Correct.
Which is coming.
Yeah.
So I just started hearing atelier a little too much. And I was like, Monica, you watch. The Gap's going to have an atelier.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have storytellers. That's rough for me.
It's rough.
And again, so many people, I love it. I see it.
Sure.
I don't think people can get through an interview without saying it these days. Holding space.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like, can't you just do that without talking about does that trigger you
I've
at all?
never said it. I do think it's rough.
Yeah.
That's like
This is
I'm
where the left is losing people, by the way.
yeah,
Stuff like that.
100 because it's cultural and rhetorical. That's it. That's all it is. Of the two parties, there's one that actually helps out the working class, and it's not the one that won. It's the one that
Exactly.
rhetorically and culturally don't know how to talk to them, right?
Yeah.
So it's shit like that, 100%.
Yes.
But wait, holding space means I'm just creating space for myself.
Well, I think it's more often used in like, I just want my husband to be able to hold space for me to have my
I see.
emotions
I
or
see.
hold space
Right,
for
right,
a
right.
coworker
Right.
or a friend.
Right.
It sounds a little too sanctimonious.
I think I tuned that one out.
So I use one that probably people hate. I will say often my story. Like my story about you and I is this, or my
Yeah,
story about
yeah,
losing
yeah,
that job.
yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
to me feels a little more honest, which is like, I know this is just
Yeah.
I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
And it's just,
It all comes back to storytelling, you
this
guys.
is just a story.
Monica's visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah,
We thought our pants were going to explode, but
Yeah,
they've
it's the
retracted.
opposite. It's literally the
More
opposite.
belts.
Belts. We look over. Were you wearing 3 belts when you walked in? I didn't notice.
Isn't it funny in movies where they flash to the future and you see them taking stabs at what will happen fashion wise in the future?
Yeah.
Like, I think in Back to the Future, people have 2 ties in the future.
Right. In 2015, which by the way,
2015.
you would have known that already.
That's right.
You know what no one's playing with, which they should be, is that as we see drugs like Ozempic become ubiquitous,
Yeah.
and people will more and more have the same body shape.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
wonder what'll, like, it's almost interesting. I think no one's projected that in the future, everyone just virtually, there'll be like 3 versions of people.
Yes.
But also with Botox and fillers and all of those things. Yeah, people's faces are starting to just look like one thing. I mean, young teens are doing Botox and filler.
I know.
God, they're going to look so... I wish I was alive when they were 90 so I could see how perfect they look. I bet it's really going to work out.
I feel like an old lady to say I'm against it, but like, I am.
You are, even though you're...
For kids honestly, to do that.
For like an 18-year-old, you don't even know what your face is yet.
But also, you're not done forming.
Exactly.
And growing. I have 2 teenagers, so they're always on TikTok and Instagram stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like perfection and redefining perfection. It's all really crazy.
Yeah.
It's very sci-fi. It does make me think, sci-fi. Did you ever have these days when you were in elementary school? I'm plagued with a lot of cowlicks. I don't have the head of hair you do. Back to your hair.
Cowlicks, like...
You know, where your hair juts this way and then that way. It's all scattywampus and back out of a swirl. Yeah. So the middle part with a feather when you and I were kids was king.
Totally.
You had to have that hairdo. Bo and Luke Duke had it. And I just couldn't get it on the middle. It was always off to one. It was like a 60-40 split.
Yep.
And so occasionally I would have a morning like in 4th grade where I would feather it and it would look great. And I would make this weird promise to the deities.
Yeah.
I would say like, I commit to this hair for the rest of my life if you can keep it looking this way.
I will. If it can remain this perfect, I will keep this parted down the middle, feathered construction for the rest of my days.
Okay, now, did you ever do any dumb thing like that in front of the mirror? Does that ring a bell?
I remember my brother had the little lead figurines for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
They were made out of lead.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I heard lead is poison, so you need to be careful. And I remember one day, I used to just steal all his shit and look at it, and he's older than me. So I remember one day taking one of these little lead figures and just sticking my tongue out and just touching it and then just being like, what am I doing? And I remember looking into the mirror in our living room. There was a mirror hanging there and just going, I don't want to die. Thinking that it was imminent.
Okay, what you stumbled upon right there is called the call of the void. Do you know this term?
No.
So the call of the void is when is very, very common for people to experience this. You're on an extremely tall building. You're looking over the edge and the voice is going, jump, you fucking pussy. For some reason, it's taunting you.
Yeah.
Right? To jump.
Yes.
And that's what licking that lead was. And I would have done the exact same thing.
Like, whoa, it's pretty powerful.
It's powerful. That's what it is.
But you got to be on the other side of answering the call of the void, which is you jump. You left.
I did it.
And it sounds like you had immediate regret.
Yeah. Oh, it was a stupid thing to do.
Did you think in your mind at that time you thought you'd be dead before the day's end?
I thought I would drop dead any second.
Or you're like touching your tongue.
Get it under the faucet.
Put it in a Vitamix. See if you can't
I think that's on Instagram, I'm constantly shown those kids that are now climbing skyscrapers all over the world. Without any equipment.
What?
They're just free balling it. And they're running and jumping. They're not like being careful.
Oh, they're getting up to the top of literally the Empire State Building and balancing on one leg. And
taking some pics.
Yeah, they have their drone up there and they're just like, what's up?
Oh.
Toss them a beer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a documentary on a couple that do this in Eastern Europe on Netflix. And they have their whole group of friends are traveling the world doing this, and they die often.
Of course.
Because they fucking fall.
Yes.
But I'm on that algorithm on Instagram, and I'm constantly being shown these. This is because there's nothing that I enjoy more than watching these people on the edge of a fucking skyscraper, and I love it.
Yeah.
But it's also drives me crazy.
It makes my hands sweat so profusely when I watch them.
I get like butterflies and I get like an adrenal rush, I think, watching them. I get some crazy, and then I have to just like put it down and not look anymore.
Sure.
Yeah, it's weird.
Look in front of the mirror and say,
I don't want to die. It's like, well, it's just a video. You're fine.
Oh my God. Were you a really good kid? It sounds like you were a really good kid. Just like that's the extent of
mischief.
I think I was. I must
Absolutely.
have been. Yeah, I must have been a good kid.
I can really relate to being the younger brother who he'd leave the house to go do something fun, and I would run to his bedroom
100%.
and like a chimp, just like hold his objects,
100%,
covet them.
Oh yeah, like a chimp, your little possessions.
Yeah, his idols. Like I felt like I was holding like special idols.
Yes, I remember once he came home when I was in the midst of one of my archaeological digs, and I hid behind a chimney that came through the middle of his room, and I just hid there for 15, 20 minutes while he just sat on his bed reading a comic book or something.
I was staying at my grandparents' motel, roadside motel in the summertime, and I had an Uncle Rob who was 5 years older than my brother. So this guy was on top of the world. He had a 68 Camaro. He played the guitar very well.
The coolest person in the world.
Yes. And I got into his room when he was out, and I found like just a treasure trove of firecrackers.
Oh shit!
And I was like, this motherfucker's got like major armament in here.
Firepower.
I was like, oh, there's 60 of these. I'm gonna steal one.
Yeah.
Black cats. And then later, I was out in a field next to the motel, and I lit them off. And I was like very scared and excited.
Yeah.
And then I just hear, they're loud, aren't they?
Oh, fuck.
And I turned around. It was Uncle Rob.
Oh, man.
And he fucking called me red-handed.
Oh, man.
He's just like the cool uncle you'd guess. He kind of, he didn't mind too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he understood what was going on.
The other day you told me you've never stolen.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did. Because
No.
then I said, yeah, you tried to steal a
parking meter. Again,
meter.
I did steal. And then I said, no, I did steal a parking meter.
Yeah, you said then I
and
did,
then I
but
tried
I
to
put
rob
that in a
7-Eleven.
different compartment because I was drunk. But now here we go.
It sounds like he was in his right mind when he stole these fireworks.
It does. It sure
I was pretty hammered.
What is that?
That's a nicotine spray.
Oh,
You've
that's
certainly
right. That's right.
seen me use
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
On our yearly vacation.
Yeah. I've got.
Yeah, what are you rocking? Zins.
Yeah.
That's right. You're a Zin man.
So stupid.
What's a Zin?
A Zin is like a little pouch of chemicals. It's kind of like a bandit, a skull bandit.
Except it's non-tobacco, or maybe Skull Bandits are non-tobacco.
No, they're tobacco.
Okay, these are
Got it.
non-tobacco. It's just nicotine.
Bandits are made in an atelier in Raleigh, Durham.
So are Zins. They were made in
one by one.
Gorgeous atelier in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Very bespoke, very artisanal, and they fold each packet.
Bespoke, that's another one.
That one doesn't bother me.
Agents started using it describing different kinds of movies and shows.
By the way, that's a great source for trigger words is agents. Because agents, kind of like Silicon Valley Bros, there's a lexicon and you got to stay abreast.
And political talking heads. There's always a new word kind of cycling through. Like a few years ago, it was crossing the Rubicon. So-and-so is going to cross the Rubicon into...
That's so true.
And
you're so right.
This cycle, it was something else, but yeah, it's annoying.
Crossing the Rubicon. Okay, now I got to go all the way back because when I talked about your hair, so basically we're getting into this like era where the Faustian promise could be, we're nearing a technology that at 8 I could have injected myself with something and my hair would have looked like that for the rest of my life. That's where I was going with that entire story.
Yeah.
Like the notion of freezing your face at 16 is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Not that I don't have like a moral judgment on it quite yet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd have to mull it over.
My face has gotten better over time.
Right.
So that would have been a big mistake.
Mine too. Is yours improved?
I think so. I mean, I look at photos of me when I was 30 and I'm like, what's going on? And it might just be the way you perceive yourself. It's hard to gain perspective on that. I just saw The Substance, which was super interesting.
Yes.
So interesting.
So good. But remember when the kid in the doctor's office is like introduces her to the idea and that kid's like perfect face?
Yeah, but creepy.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
But that's what I immediately think of when you say there'll be like 3 different kinds of faces. Or if you have the power to just freeze your face, everyone starts kind of morphing into a face like that. To me, that looks like a YouTube tutorial face. It's just weird. And it's become this weird standard that people are looking at on social media, right?
But again, is that, it's hard to say what's better or worse. Is that better or worse than you and I thinking like, well, Brad, you got to look like Brad Pitt.
Right.
And there's no chemicals or I can't freeze my.
There's nothing you can do
No.
to look like.
So I'm not sure if it's getting better or worse.
Yeah.
Okay, but my sci-fi fantasy is this. So if we just think really quickly that your cells divide and they make perfect copies of themselves.
Yeah.
Right. So there's this great mystery. How then does your body evolve and look differently if it's making perfect mirror copies of each cell? What is this aging process? Like how are the cells changing? Yeah. And there's a lot of science that's getting close to figuring that out. So let's just say there is a future in which you take it and then that's it. You're arrested exactly where you're at. From now on, your cells will just duplicate as they should. That's an interesting sci-fi movie where everyone is 28. The wise elders are 28.
And everyone is immortal?
Probably unless they get hit by a car or something. Yeah. Unless some kind of accident happens. Their cells are just going to make perfect copies of themselves. So that would be an interesting sci-fi movie where everyone's 30.
One guy's 130 and one guy's 30.
Yes.
But they look exactly the same.
And it just makes me wonder, like, status-wise and how you treat people at a grocery store and all this weird stuff. If everyone was the same age, what would that do?
That would be really weird.
Also, it would make the first 30 years of your life or 28, whatever number everyone
Shut it
decides.
down at,
You'd like be living in a bubble because you have to protect yourself until you get to 28.
Yeah, so you don't get some
messed up or you get in an or
Well,
die
I did think of that
28.
as once you get the procedure, it'll heighten your fear of accidental death.
Yes.
Because you're not going to die of any diseases.
It would be, people would be so much more accident phobic.
Yes.
And also there would probably be some sort of celebration when you hit 30 or 28 or whatever
I
it
bet
is.
27. That's when they always say you like kind of, you just start going downhill from there.
Is that right? Is that like the peak?
That's when you like kind of peak.
Remember Looper, like one of the great sci-fi movies of the last 20 years or so, Rian Johnson?
Yeah.
They have that party when you close your loop.
Mm-hmm.
And you know your death date. Is that what it was? They throw a party for whomever's, and it's a really dark, weird thing. But that's the great thing about really good sci-fi is when you drop in and you see kind of the customs of this new altered environment.
Yeah.
And when it's pulled off well, like in Looper, it's really kind of mind-bendy.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff to think about is like not the actual big juicy tech.
Cultural reverberations of
like
these.
If a guy that's 130 is dating an actual 30-year-old woman, but they look the same, do we throw out that whole thing we care about?
And what are the apps that would be created to catch you up on what a 30-year-old is into? And you're fucking 430.
Oh, what if, okay, we got to get back to reality, but
like,
after this.
No thanks.
No, but listen.
Dating a 430-year-old.
Although then it's like they're mature.
Right.
That's cool. I don't know.
What if, okay, so these new Meta glasses, they have a speaker right behind whatever, the arms. I'm told that you could be in China and you can have the AI be translating what someone's telling you in Mandarin and you'll hear it in English.
Uh-huh.
So we're like, I think we're really close to the Star Trek. Like we're wearing glasses, a Chinese guy's wearing glasses, and we're just communicating.
That's right.
So knowing that that's that close. Now, what if back to the 300-year-old, let's call it a woman dating a 30-year-old man.
That's safer, yeah.
That's safer. We like that. And then the 30-year-old man basically goes like, oh my God, I loved this new show, Tibikawi Crossing. Yeah. And then the old woman in her...
It's a great show, by the way.
It is a good one. And then the woman in her ear hears, I'm watching this new show, Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
So that the reference, like the AI knows where this reference is going so they can communicate.
They can have the conversation.
Wait,
different references. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sort of, but they're still living in the same world.
Like you'd be talking about Taylor Swift. Like let's say you and I were on a date. You'd be talking about Taylor Swift and how great she is. But I'd be hearing Madonna so that I understood your...
It's a cultural equivalent.
Translator, cultural
translator. So you
translator.
can have the same emotional interaction and just be on the same level at all times. So all cultural references become the same too.
Yes.
Everything evens out. So there's nothing, there are no obstacles anywhere.
No, it's just emotion. I'm conveying an emotion I have.
Right. That's right. You say you like Raiders of the Lost Ark and I hear
Tron.
3D.
Yeah.
I mean, that just made me sound so much older than I intended.
These aren't real relationships. You're just hearing what you want to hear. Like because what if you didn't like Taylor Swift objectively, and I'm talking about Taylor Swift and you're hearing Madonna, something you do. It's just translating into what you like.
No. See, I mean, my version of this cultural translator, you're saying Taylor Swift, and my equivalent of that was Madonna. Now, I actually feel about Madonna however I felt then. Right. So maybe I thought she was, I don't think this, well, I just think she was all like a stage show. She wasn't really an artist.
Yeah.
Let's just say that's what I thought.
We're not.
That's not what I think.
None of us think
we
that.
We don't say that.
So I'm hearing you talk about someone who's a perfect comp, and then I feel the way about, and then I go, oh, she's not for me. I don't like.
But your AI would be so attuned to you that it would know if you say Taylor Swift to perfectly translate that to
someone
maybe it's not Madonna, maybe it's Emmylou Harris, and that it's attuned to you and your taste. So you can, if the objective is to get along with this person you're talking to and create an emotional connection, and get rid of any snags along the way, it'll just provide equilibrium for everything.
So in your version, like a liberal and Democrat are wearing the glasses, and the liberal goes, I'm so afraid the earth's going to catch on fire. And the person hears, I'm so afraid of immigration.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, I know.
I totally agree.
Yes, I'm scared too.
Oh, that's wild.
Okay, this actually brings me to a real question. First of all, and I told you this privately, so I'm not just fluffing your pillows now that we're in public.
Fluffing your pillows, I like that.
Not a really common colloquial. We go on this trip every year.
Yeah.
It's the funnest trip of the year for us.
Yes, so fun.
It's so fun. Our friend Jimmy Kimmel hosts all of us in the most generous possible capacity.
It's the loveliest.
And there's a lot of things you could say were the bells and whistles of it, the location, the accommodations, the activities. But for me, it's dinner every night.
Yeah. It's a giant table. How long would you say this table is?
40 feet.
Probably 50 people, 40 people, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, that feels right.
Everyone is terrific. And every year there's additions and like people can't make it and someone else arrives, and it's always just a fascinating group of people.
So you can't miss, no matter who you're seated next to, but, and I don't want to rank, it's not polite to rank, but if you and I get seated next to each other, I'm like, this is going to be the greatest 3-hour dinner. You're the funnest person to talk to. I love talking to you.
That is so flattering. And when you told me that, you texted that to me.
Yeah.
I immediately went and got Naomi and told her because my immediate reaction when finding a seat at that dinner is if I'm sitting across from you or next to you, I'm like, I really don't want Dax to feel like he has to talk to me, you know.
Oh my God. And I'm trying to engineer getting seated across from you.
And I love sitting with you too, because you're an inherently interested person and you're so fun to talk to. And I've always felt that way about talking to you, even when we didn't really know each other that much. You can just drop in with you and talk about stuff, and you always have something to say. And like I said, you're interested. But yeah, you telling me that was like a huge deal, because I also feel comfortable sitting across from you or sitting next to you. Like I'm immediately at ease.
Same. So much of our conversations, and this is where one of my questions comes in, we have a lot of nostalgic conversations.
Yeah.
We have a lot of the same favorites from the 80s and 90s. We did, 90 minutes on Against All Odds.
Against All Odds. Oh, you had Jeff Bridges.
I did. And I brought up the car chase scene, and I asked how much of the driving he did. Yeah.
And
questions only you and I would want answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm wearing the glasses, I just heard now and then, maybe.
Yeah. That's a pretty good comp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He talked about that being the first movie he started like physically training for.
Interesting.
And how it like created a lifetime kind of interest in exercise.
That's so interesting. I was watching a behind the scenes thing on Temple of Doom, and they're like, Harrison really had to like bulk up for this one, and it shows him at like a shitty gym, just like doing bench press
with those plastic weights filled with sand.
Yeah, like nothing.
Like he did some bench
not
press.
Nothing. He's definitely exercising, but gyms have changed a lot. There's no trainer there. He's just like by himself. And
No
like,
squats, no deadlifts. Just bench and some curls.
And then a couple of beers.
A couple of beers and a doobie, and let's get to set.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
But I guess what I was wondering is, you have this deep nostalgia. I want an explanation for it. And I'm wondering, do you think we're just that way, or is there something about childhood that was so comforting? I'm just curious. Like, you would recognize, right? You're more encyclopedic about that whole era than most people you talk to.
Yeah.
You always blow me way out. Once we start talking, you've watched the behind the scenes of Temple of Doom. I have.
Right. In the last 3 months, I've gone and looked at that. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's so comforting to think about that era. And I think movies in that era in particular were geared for us.
Yeah.
Like when I reference Temple of Doom, that is my favorite movie. I was 11 when that came out. So like that and Goonies and E.T., I know it's kind of tired now because our generation has kind of beat the nostalgia to death a little bit. Back to the Future, those movies were like, at least for me, they meant everything.
Yeah.
I ask myself that a lot. Like, why did this stuff mean so much to me? I think that, at least for me, that whole period of time from like 82 to 88, when I started getting interested in beer and stuff and like just a social life and,
hip hop.
For me, it was like the Dead. I got into the Grateful Dead. And
why do I think you had a crazy hip hop phase in high school?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
I think you're thinking of Macklemore.
Oh, I don't know if I am,
I think
but
that's,
you were more Dead, Santa Cruz.
I know.
The amount of
you
times.
get that all the time. I know.
Oh my God.
That's why we wanted to do this on video. And to be honest with you,
to see if Macklemore and I would be, because he's not here. So you don't know.
But is he?
But I think people would think it was Macklemore.
Yeah.
Posing as Adam.
Probably. You're right. You're right that it's a particularly potent period of time.
Okay, last thing I will say about this. Then I started watching this Brat Pack documentary.
Yes.
Did you too?
That. Yes. That's another chapter of that same period of time. Those movies hit me so hard. Pretty in Pink. Oh my God.
Oh my God, Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
And the psychedelic furs and how that was making you feel and all that. But I was watching the Brat Pack doc and I was having the realization like, oh, we also lived in a very peculiar time where 5 of the biggest movie stars alive were 21 years old.
Yeah.
Like I think of that now. And of course that would seem crazy that there would be this cadre of enormous stars.
Huge.
But that was a unique thing that was happening when we were kids that we didn't know was unique. They were greenlighting like 12, 15 teen movies a year.
Right. And they still, from that period, they still don't look that young to me. And I think it's because they were
older,
6 years older than me or something. They looked.
Agreed. Sophisticated and adult.
Yes.
Like, of course, they were driving a Porsche and dressed nice and had a big apartment.
Right. And they were 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have that, Monica? Am I wrong about that? That's a unique aspect. You didn't have that when you were 12.
Oh, the 21-year-olds?
Yeah, it was like a whole crop of movies every weekend.
Who would that have been for your...
Zac Efron? A little bit before. I'm sorry.
A little after.
I'm not calling you a baby.
Yeah, I'm a big girl.
Harry Potter stars?
No, I mean, I was like the Friends era. They were young.
Yeah.
I guess they were young too, but yes, older than me. But I was going to say nostalgia, I think, exists because it's the things that you consumed before everything got complicated.
That's right.
And also before you started wanting things for real, like chasing things and deciding I want to do this with my life. And it was just pure.
Yes.
And there's only a very small amount of time you get in life of purity.
Totally. And that window for us happened to be during this Spielberg era where Elliot in E.T., Indiana Jones, the kids in Goonies, Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future, these were heroes. These were people doing Luke Skywalker.
Changing the world.
Yeah. And they were all like scrappy nobodies.
Yep.
And divorce was making its way into these movies, which I like. Because again, I was like,
E.T.'s a very divorce-driven movie.
I was in a divorced family, on my maybe second stepdad, feeling like I want to just be in the world on my own a bit.
Yeah.
And all these kids, these protagonists in these movies were just kind of on their own.
Yes. The parents weren't figuring prominently into any of these things.
No. And I think that was really appealing to me.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, get them out of here and let me run the show a little bit. Let's see what we can do.
Because those kids in E.T. were just like, yeah, okay, Mom. And they would just go off on their bike.
We're going to deal with this alien on our own.
Yeah, dude. We're going to outrun the cops.
So when I went back to consult your previous episode, I would have not guessed this. What number do you think Adam was?
Early. I think really early. Maybe 32.
Right. I would have gone 40s. What would you say?
First 5?
7th.
Stop.
Wow. 7th guest that you had.
Yes.
I remember it being early, but I was kind of taking a flyer by saying 5.
7.
Yeah, 7. Not only 7, but Monica, as I listened to it, the episode starts with housekeeping. And it's me explaining, Monica's a part of the show.
Oh.
She's going to talk. And she's not interrupting. Like I read in comments that she's not in. She's a integral part of the show. Like it's me explaining.
Oh boy! I
funny.
just got like sweaty. There.
Yeah, well, I got
so
sweaty listening to the whole thing.
Oh, 7.
How long ago was that?
7 years ago in February.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you guys.
But obviously so much has happened since then.
Yeah, 7 years.
Oof.
What I learned in a bunch of interviews I listened to of you today, one was I heard you on Fresh Air saying, which I thought was really funny, that you were just obsessed singularly on TVs and movies.
Yeah.
And that's all you thought about.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if you go into acting, that was a great use of time.
Yeah.
But if you're just an average person that says, no, all I've ever thought about and obsessed about is TV and movies, somehow that sounds like a losery endeavor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, just by the fact that you landed in it means that it was totally justified. And what a great thing to be focused on your whole life.
I think in the low points of trying to do this, that certainly crossed my mind. Like, what have I done with my life? Because it's all I thought about and talked about and cared about.
99% screen time.
Right. And here I am with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And no practical skills of any kind.
Right.
So, there was a real low point in like 2000 when I had not gotten 6 feet under. I tested for that with Michael C. Hall, who, thank God, he got it because he was incredible, and I was not ready to do that. But he's
that's heartbreaking. And then you're watching it.
Oh, that was a hefty role.
A hefty role and a hefty show.
Yeah.
But you played his lover ultimately, didn't you?
Yeah, I did play his boyfriend for a couple episodes.
So they brought you back. That's
nice.
They
did. But when before it was even on TV and when I did not get the role, it was after a series of blows work-wise, just not having worked in 6 months or, one of those, we all went through it and I was nowhere. Like I had been at it at that point for like 7 years or something and was at square one because when you're living like guest spot to guest spot and indie movie, you never hear from those people again to indie movie,
To remind people, you and I were in one of those together. Hair shirt / Too Smooth.
Too Smooth.
This is when you were Vomiteer.
I was Vomiteer, but do you know what his role was? I don't know if you knew your role the last
Guy
time
in
we
bar?
talked. Fan at bar.
Fan
almost
at
worse
bar.
than guy at bar.
It is way worse. It's far more humiliating.
I mean, I think you and I have the two best.
And who were you?
Vomiteer at party.
What does vomiteer mean?
Someone who vomits at a party.
Are you on camera vomiting?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, man.
I hope so.
Wow.
That's what was promised.
I've never seen Too Smooth.
You haven't seen it.
Hair shirt. Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get bogged down in that, but you want to know who else was in that movie that I doubt you know was in it?
Rebecca Gayheart.
Rebecca Gayheart, Nev Campbell, of course. And then our two leads, which I looked at the poster this morning. Our poor two leads are in the deep, deep background, and Nev and Rebecca are front and center.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And they maybe had like, I don't know, 3 scenes.
Nev was playing like a big star, right?
Yeah. Well, hence you being a fan.
Fan at bar.
At bar, yeah.
That's
and
right.
me being volunteer at party.
That's right.
Alfonso Cuarón was in that movie.
What?
I remember he and Gene were good buddies.
Yeah, he played a director in the movie.
That is so wild.
So you and I have been in a film with Alfonso Cuarón.
Absolutely. We are colleagues of Alfonso Cuarón,
Yeah, he's a
clearly.
peer.
We are peers with Alfonso Cuarón. That's really, really funny.
So obviously since then you have done a ton of stuff, but Severance is like the most spectacular thing.
Oh,
and
thanks.
as you know, because Chris and I sent you voicemails
Yes.
almost after every episode.
Yes.
I'd like to play a couple of them.
Please.
Oh.
Hey, so we're in bed and we just had a quick question.
Hi, we just had a quick question.
Are you guys fucking drawing this new season? Is that
Yeah.
what's taking so long?
What in the goddamn hell is taking so long?
These are the kind of messages you would receive after
All
every
right, you
episode.
son of a bitch. You wanted the compliments? Well, here comes the fucking complaints. Belle and I just sat here on the edge of our seat waiting to find out what happens when you guys come to.
You fucking prick.
You piece of shit prick. And that goes for Ben, too.
Losers.
Oh, buddy. Are we fucking pissed that this episode just ended when the switches were thrown? So you wanted the fucking cake, and now you got to take the rat poison too, you piece of shit.
Okay, so that's kind of an average.
Was that for the finale?
It was, I think, one before.
Oh, the one right. But
finale.
yeah.
Oh.
Where they
And I just got to, this
switched.
ended up being
Oh,
3.
another thing, it's going to be a long fucking week
So
for us
pissed.
and for you.
Yeah, because we're waiting.
So either block my number
Damn
or
it.
get used to this shit.
Fuck you.
You piece of shit.
Okay, and then the last one.
Quick update you'd probably find funny. My wife just ran through a plate glass window off the 2nd story of our home and was rushed to the hospital. You probably want to know if she's still alive. I will tell you next week.
I have all those on my phone as well.
I want to play your response, just one of your responses, which is so good.
You can't imagine how much pleasure it gives me to have the both of you over a barrel like this. I may as well tell you now that the entire season was created just to frustrate and destroy the both of you. Eat shit.
You guys are so fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Naomi hopped in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
But you went into Severance, and I learned this from you. I don't know if this is secret or not, but you were involved, and then maybe you weren't involved for a minute, and then you were involved.
Mhm.
So like, doesn't start on the firmest footing maybe, or I don't know what you go through before you end up there.
Yeah.
But you go right at really what point in the pandemic?
Well, we were scheduled to start the end of March. Yeah, end of March 2020
Yeah.
or beginning of April, something like that. And actually went and did a table read at the like March 7th or something. And then I was going to go home and then get all my shit and come out. And at the table read, they passed Purell around. We were like,
Yeah.
this pandemic thing is fucking, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then as I was there, just for like 2 days, shit like was contracting in New York. And I was like, maybe I should go get some like Lysol wipes for my room. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I flew home and then everything happened. So we didn't start shooting till October, but even that
was early.
like
Fast,
in
yeah.
the midst of we were one of the only shows actually shooting. So we were shooting in the, obviously a lot of shows were doing this where you have a mask, a plastic thing in front of your face and all that shit.
Yeah.
Where for the actors, the only time we saw people's entire faces was when camera was rolling. We would rehearse with all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a special person with your own box to put your mask and all your equipment in forever.
Yeah,
It was
oh my
wild.
God.
So all that to say the isolation from each other and in general was, because I would wake up like in my apartment, go down to the van that took me to set had a plastic sheet between me and the driver.
Oh my God.
Then go to my room where you weren't allowed to like have anyone in your room. So suffice it to say, the only real human contact was after action, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of fed into the show.
I didn't know this, that your mom had died as well right before, I guess it would have been that table read.
2 days before the table read.
Oh my God.
2 days before the table read.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting part of this is, so then the memorial gets kicked all the way to December or something.
December of 21.
Okay, so very far away.
Yeah.
But what immediately happens after she dies is you go into quarantine with your family.
Yeah.
And it's like groovy, right? You're like with your family.
Yeah.
I think in particularly a time like that where it's like there's the loss of this person, but at least you're connected to the fact that the whole thing just carries on.
Yes.
And that's comforting and maybe misleading.
Yes.
And then you get completely by yourself in an apartment in New York.
Yeah.
In this very lonely situation already.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining everything kind of must hit the fan at that point.
Yeah, it really did. And it really was sort of from the moment I walked into the apartment and closed the door and it was dead silent. And I was like, oh, okay. I need to come to terms with, at that point, she had died 6 months before.
Yeah.
But like you said, I was cocooned with my family, with the people who love me the most, and was kind of insulated, which is, I guess, one of the things love is for, is to make you feel better. And they suffered a loss as well. But obviously I was the one who was going to be grappling with it in a sort of a unique way from my kids and the Emmy. So yeah, so I'm in that apartment and I needed to kind of find a way towards grieving and defining what this is and what happened. And I really did it through the show. I mean, I sort of just decided like, I'm going to figure this out, but the show is about grief.
Yeah.
And so
I hate to say it was a good coincidence, but by God, if you have to go through this.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that you got to play someone who's grieving the loss of somebody.
Yeah.
And you're lonely as fuck in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to act, really.
Yeah.
You can
it
just
was
channel.
kind of just gliding right into it and very directly just letting it out and processing it in the show. Yeah, there's a scene in the show actually where we were on the side of the road at the site of my wife's car accident in like the 7th episode. And just by sheer coincidence, because we shot the whole season at once, it was on the 1 year anniversary of my mom dying.
Oh, wow.
Which was a completely, and I didn't realize it till that day. And so there were things like that where I could pretty directly just
let out how you were feeling.
Yeah. And process.
When you shut the door to the apartment and you go,
yeah,
we got some dealing to do.
Yeah.
Are you overcome with fear for that process? Or what's your reaction to knowing that? Like, oh, we're going to go through some stuff now and we're going to be by ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into this.
I think that I'm a person who tries to compartmentalize and push things to a later date.
Yeah.
And so I think I busied myself with the getting ready for the show, and the election was about to happen. And so I was preoccupied with that. And so I closed that door and was like, oh shit. And really felt the loss right there. Like, oh, there is a giant elephant in this room with me, but it'll be there. I'm here for 8 months or whatever.
Sure,
It'll
we'll get
be
to
there.
that.
I'll be fine. And eventually, after a few weeks and just hours of alone time, because no one was socializing really, and restaurants, it was so weird that I really did have to figure it out there. And I didn't talk to a therapist while I was there, and I really should have. I did kind of, in a way, sort of come to terms with it and come to terms with the fact that grief is something that is a flat circle in one way or the other. It stays with you. And sometimes it feels like it happened 10 minutes ago. And sometimes it feels like it happened 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's surreal that person is no longer in your life. It's just like unbelievable.
It's really hard to imagine someone exists and they don't. As dumb and simple as that is to say, it is so weird that you can exist and then not exist.
Yeah. And someone that is so instrumental in who you are. One thing I did kind of realize is that as, this thing that I'm doing for a living, one thing I realized is that when she was gone, I realized that part of the reason I was doing this in the first place was for her to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
And so when that was gone, I was sort of like, well, who am I going to impress?
Yeah.
So I had to straighten that out and sort of come to terms with the fact that these feelings and this love that you have for a person and their love for you is, doesn't go anywhere. It's still here.
Yeah, it's kind of what you're made of.
Yeah.
It's like the structure of you is that.
That's right. And a parent dying is sort of it's like part of the sky going away or something. Yeah. It's sort of a big thing.
Well, it's the thing you're most tethered to.
Yeah.
So when my dad died, I had these conflicting feelings of like, he had become a dependent of mine. And so we were in this
taking
relationship,
care of him,
supporting him.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, a lot of our conversations over those last few years were like, I need this, or can I have, it's just not a great dynamic.
It's hard. Yeah.
And then, I lived with my mom primarily my whole life.
Yeah.
And when he was dying, it was a lot of work for me. So I had this I felt a sense of relief when he died.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this battle's over. We got him through it without too much carnage. That's a win. And so I think I had a misleading sense of relief for a few months. Mm-hmm. And then opened up the door to like, I'm never going to chat with him again, or he's not going to see anything I do, But through all of that, I was like, also, thank God it's not my mom.
Yeah.
Because my mom for me is the thing you're talking about. Like, Dax wants to live in the woods and fucking be annihilated drunk all day.
Yeah.
And anything I've ever done positive was because my mom believed in enough that I was a good boy and I needed to make her happy.
Yeah.
And so I've often thought, like, if she's not around for me to even think, what would she think? That feels like a very scary place for me to be in.
Yeah.
I really rely on her to almost be my super ego.
Yeah. Just like in the back of your head, your mom is this very unique station that
it's so fucking thankless. Like, do you watch Naomi and I watch Chris and I go, my God, what
Jesus Christ.
Go through?
And meanwhile, I'm walking around like,
I know, they're like, Dad!
Yeah.
I know, that Nick Kroll special where he's just like,
yes,
moms are annoying.
Yes.
And it's like, they are. Why?
Yes.
It's so unfair.
Because they know you so
intimately.
well.
Yep. That's
a way that no one else does. Not your dad, no one. They just know.
They were in your body.
Well, they're who you were able to be, scared in front of, vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, even as an adult, something would happen.
Yeah.
I would call her, and no matter how embarrassing, that call is there.
Yes. To your point, guaranteed I'm feeling better when I get off the phone with my mom.
100%.
She'd somehow find the silver lining in this horrific.
And give you the kernel of advice, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think part of at least for me, part of a son's journey, and I'm sure it's the same for no matter what gender you are, there is a period of time where you need to peel away and show that you don't need your mom. You've got this. You're good. And
you're a big boy now.
Yeah, that's right. And I already know anything you're going to say anyway because I'm a grown up now. But thinking back on that stuff is painful, but I think also just being a parent now, you just know, like, you don't care.
No.
Anytime my kids are shitty to me,
yeah,
I'm like, ultimately, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
I almost think
Yeah.
good for you.
The best. Yeah. Oh,
Sometimes
totally.
like when they tell me off, I'm like, good for you.
Huh.
You got some backbone.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah.
You're supposed to hate me from time to time.
That's right.
Yeah, this
That's
is
right.
Jonah's point.
Like it would be weird if you didn't roll your eyes and slam the door right now.
yes.
Yeah.
That's the unconditioned. Like you get
Yeah.
two, if you're lucky, you get two sources of unconditional
Yep.
love. And then when that starts going away,
Yeah.
it's so scary.
Yes.
It's like there's what's left.
It is scary.
We have the great luxury and gift of, I think what you do with that is you just turn it on your kids. It's like, I don't have that thing. I miss that thing. I'm never going to have that thing, but I have this thing.
Yeah.
Imagine when you don't have kids and you go through the loss of a parent. It's got to be really destabilizing. 'Cause
Yeah.
Kind of now,
Oh,
you're not tethered to really anything.
I can't imagine. Monica, are both of your parents with us?
Yes,
Oh,
they
good.
are.
Okay.
They are. But I'm
In a
always,
big way.
I live with like so much fear
Yeah.
of something happening to them. And
Yeah.
I think part of it is that I don't really have a place to channel it. But in some ways, I think not that it's a cop out, but like you said, you can, in the pandemic, you could sort of channel it with your family.
Yeah.
And you can have that. But when we're all ultimately by ourselves, really. And so when you really sit with it, you are going to have to process it anyway.
At some point.
Yeah, at some
Yeah.
point. And the kids aren't really going to be the answer to that. And
No, they're gonna bail.
they probably don't deserve to be the answer to that.
They're going to bail like every other
They're-
kid does.
My son's in his senior year in high school, and like that's going to happen,
Yeah.
in less than a year.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh my God.
It's so awful.
Like,
Dude,
why?
what the
Why is
fuck?
life structured like this? It's crazy.
It's so wild. And you were so kind to how he came over and interviewed you for his film class. And boy, oh boy, was that a feather in his cap. Doing a little mini doc on cars, and Dax Shepard's in his fucking
That's pretty
Showing
cool.
off
Pretty
some of
cool.
my cars.
and he's just a brilliant, he's so smart and such a kind, lovely person, and into like really cool stuff. It's the best. It really is. But it's going to be incredibly sad when he fucking leaves.
Oh God, yeah.
Jesus.
Well, yeah, you shut the door to an apartment in New York, and that had some justification. But the notion that you'll be shutting your own door to your home
Yeah.
when Frankie leaves, and you'll go, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're going to have to deal with this."
Yeah. Now we just have each other.
Yes.
Jesus.
Well, should we adopt?
Maybe
Let's
they'll
adopt.
come back. My brother went
Yeah.
back home for a while.
For really?
Yeah.
Like
For a
after
really long-
college or okay.
He just recently left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So you never know. You
Good
never
for
know.
him.
And I was panicking for my mom because that's even worse. It's like then you have a really long time.
Yeah.
I think you probably trick yourself into this is forever. Like, great, he'll live here. This is just the way it's going to
Yeah.
go. She gets to make sandwiches for him every day. And now he's really gone. And
So
it's
did
like,
she have to go through the grieving all over
She
again?
went to YouTube instead.
She likes YouTube. I think she's
I mean,
still,
just watching YouTube.
she's dealt with a ton of shit and she's figured it out. And her figuring it out is just
Where do they live?
Georgia.
In Georgia.
So anyway, I was like, oh no. And also she just lost her dad. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
God, my
yeah.
brother's leaving and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
And this is a disaster. But she's
Well, you know
All
what?
right.
When that happens sometimes, the second time they leave, it's kind of like,
yeah. Instead of this middle ground,
Yeah.
maybe it's like, okay.
I remember when I came back in between years at school, I had only been gone for 8 months or whatever school year. And I remember moving back into my mom's house and she was a little like, huh, okay, yeah, you're here now. That's
She had,
okay.
she had processed
She
and
had
transitioned.
already moved on. And so there was some adjusting to happen.
Yeah,
that needed to
the
happen.
baby boomers did it quicker. They were,
Yeah.
they knew how
Yeah.
to get through something really fast.
That's right.
Okay, now back to Severance. So those are kind of unique circumstance in which you are filming the first
Yeah.
one. And so here's what happened. As you know, it's my favorite show. Told you nonstop.
So good.
We
Nice.
got 6 screeners for the upcoming season,
Oh, you did?
which we were ecstatic about. I came in and I lord these few things I get over because Kristen has access to everything in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm never offering something cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guess who's got 6 episodes of
Yeah.
next season? So excited. sign in to watch them, and I go, let's watch the recap. Have you done this? I wonder if you've done the same thing.
I had the same crisis of morality where I was like, I want to so bad, but I don't think I should. And mainly actually because I want to be watching it while the world is watching it. There's something about you being like, we have to wait a week. That makes it really fun.
It's fun. I get. But that's not why I didn't watch the new ones. I watched the recap and I was like, hon, are you remembering this?
Yeah.
And she's like, not as much as normal. And Kristen can really remember a TV show. Monica will tell you. We come back from Game of Thrones. She still remembers.
Memory for that.
So I was like, I'm inclined to start over.
Yeah.
Which I've done.
Yeah.
I can't recommend this enough to people.
Yeah.
People should, you should start right now in anticipation for.
I'm doing the same thing because Ben and I are hosting a podcast,
which I hope to be on.
Where we go through every episode of the first season. Then we'll be doing a weekly thing for season 2.
I love that.
And rewatching the show. I hadn't seen it in a long time, and it's been 3 years. So so we're encouraging people to rewatch the whole season.
But I can't believe how much I forgot about it. Yeah. And I can't believe how much I'm enjoying rewatching. I think more than I've ever enjoyed rewatching it. Cool. There's a lot of it that feels like I'm watching it for the first time.
Oh, that's great.
I think because of the gap between seasons.
Yeah, long time.
But then also the density of it and the subtlety of it. And it's interesting watching it, knowing more about it.
Yeah.
I think you get more from it. But anyways, all that to say, I didn't watch any of the new season because now I'm on episode 4.
Yeah.
Kristen went out of town. I already decided, fuck her. I'm going on without her, which is another rare. I don't do that.
Yeah. That's a tough decision to make. And whether or not you're going to be honest about it or rewatch those episodes pretending it's the first time.
Yeah. 3 viewings before we
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
I guess my fear, because I love the show so much, is like, what do you do with the second season?
Right.
How long did that take for them to crack that? Also, Dan, is that the writer, creator's name?
Yeah.
The only thing he had ever written for before this was Lip Sync Battle.
Yeah, man.
Do you know this story? He wrote for Lip Sync Battle. He sent the pilot for Severance as a writing sample to Red Hour.
Yeah, and Nikki Weinstock and Jackie Cohn at Red Hour kind of read the script and thought it was great and brought it to Ben. And so it was more of a sample like, hey, I'm a writer,
Yeah, I have one.
And they were like, what about this as a actual thing? And Dan was working at a door factory when that sample was sent to Red Hour.
Really?
Yeah.
In what state?
Shit.
In California?
Here somewhere.
Oh, good for us. We're manufacturing doors. I thought that was more of a Wisconsin thing.
Without doors,
what
are you going to do?
Collapse. Yeah. So he was working in a door factory.
Yeah. And he's just the coolest guy and the brilliant, obviously. And so he and Ben just started working on this and developing it. And Jackie and Nikki, I'm sure that's what Dan was kind of scooped up from nowhere, having no real credits. It's fun, like talking to him about the show and kind of where it can go and stuff. And he has it all in his head. And also when he's thinking of something new, it's really fun to hear him sort of go, oh yeah, that's cool. And then little like cul-de-sacs and roads he goes down, he always takes an unexpected, strange direction. But also as far as the kind of language of Lumen, and there is no one who can really crack it and write it like he can. Like it's a really particular thing that he invented and has a real direct line to, is the just sort of strange phrasing and nomenclature of Lumen and Kier and this whole world.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
How much of Ben's fingerprint is on it directorially? Because, and I'll admit this, I had not seen Escape from Dannemore. Or I saw the first one. I don't know why I didn't continue.
Yeah.
But we just watched it, I don't know, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And fucking loved it.
It's amazing. I just
weird.
rewatched it too.
Did you?
Yeah, just like last week.
And did you see the parallels?
Yes.
Yes. It's a similar thing. You're like trapped in a world.
Mhm.
You don't have your autonomy. You're trying to escape. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yes, I really zeroed in on this time watching Dan and Maura, how art figured into their lives.
Right.
Because Irv and John Turturro and Christopher Walken's characters are really, particularly John, Irv is his life is really connected to art and the paintings and the rules of and all of the sort of culture of the world is really important to him. And the guys in Dan and Maura, Benicio del Toro and Paul Dano's characters, when you have very little, your sort of stimuli is really cut off, these things become really important.
And in Severance, it almost seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at all those hallways, they're stark white, they're meaningless. And then the painting that he hangs up, it's like the most exciting. It's like the fucking sphere in Vegas.
Totally.
In that world.
Totally. And when Christopher Walken's delivering the new tote bags for the manual, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's an event.
Could you see all this stuff when you read the script?
Not like this. No, the tone of it was really found during the first season. And I think something that really kind of worked in our favor, because usually when you go back and watch the first season of any show that you know and love, the first few episodes, it's like, okay, they don't know who that is. They're figuring it out. Yes. Since we shot the season all at once, we were still shooting the first episode 10 months in, right?
Yeah.
So something that worked in our favor is us finding our sea legs was spread out over the season, right?
There's no moment you can detect that.
And that's to Ben and Dan's credit.
Were you guys worried? Were you like, maybe we should put masks on and maybe we should redo the COVID experience while we shoot season 2 to keep the tone?
Right, to keep our isolation.
Because that was magic and that's scary.
Really
it was. It's scary going back to anything that worked or works.
As much love I have for the show as I have anxiety about how we perpetuate this world in a way that ends up being satisfying logically.
Yeah.
It's a big endeavor.
When we started season 2, it was like, okay, like there is this steep mountain in front of us that, holy shit. Okay, let's go.
It's like doing Pulp Fiction too.
Dude, yeah. and just the enormity of it. It's so much to do.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love getting in and chipping away. And I love working with Ben. Something we have in common is we don't want to stop until we get it right.
Yes.
And I completely trust his taste and his eye. And that's something that you have to have in a director is complete trust. And how often is that?
Yeah.
But I do with him.
I have no business saying this, evaluating his career in this way, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
So it's like he did Tropic Thunder. He made that movie so big and glossy and action-y, which is cool. It was
incredible.
He showed he could do that.
Yeah.
I was watching Dan and Maura and I was like, okay, so this is him saying like, I don't have to fuck with comedy. I know exactly how to do drama. And I feel like Severance is the beneficiary of him having proved he can do everything. And now letting in some of the comedy and the weirdness this to me just feels like the total synergy of all the previous work.
That's really interesting.
There's just like a confidence to be, it can be anything because the show's often hysterical.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And it's just all things now.
Yeah.
Okay. Walken and Turturro.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you got to bond with them in season 1 too much because you guys were in lockdown.
With Turturro, I did because we had so much time together on so many scenes together. With Walken, I don't actually in season 1 didn't really have all that much time with him. I had a couple scenes and it was incredible to just be anywhere near Christopher Walken. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
Actually, on my first day shooting with both of them, it was like 6 weeks into the shoot and they both were starting on the same day. And I was so excited. and actually took a picture of the call sheet and sent it to my friend Stu. Was like, guess who I'm working with tomorrow, bro?
It's so fun to still be that excited.
Oh my
That's
God.
Great.
I was so excited, but couldn't get to sleep because I was so excited. Stayed up to like 4.
Oh boy.
Woke up, not because of my alarm, but because of pounding on my door. I was supposed to get in the car at probably 6 a.m. and it was 8:30.
Oh no! Oh my God! 2.5 hours sleeping.
Set was an hour away.
Oh no! And now it's rush
My
hour.
assistant was pounding on the door, which means he had time to drive from set all the way down to Tribeca and pound on my door.
Oh,
This was the first day with John Turturro
my
and
God.
Christopher Walken.
After you'd bragged to your buddy the night before.
Yes, which is the kiss of death, right?
You're
Oh
showing
my
up
God.
feeling great about
Oh
yourself.
my God. I got up, let him in, and was running around the apartment crying, trying to get all my shit together. Because usually I wake up with at least an hour of just time to drink coffee and read the fucking whatever.
Okay, so you finally show up on set.
Yeah.
And you presumably these two legends who you can't wait to work with. They've been told our lead actor,
Yes.
we can't find him.
I just had to go apologize.
You did.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
I said, I am so sorry.
I just flew in from China.
The thing is, the thing that really sucked about it is that I knew that no matter what I say, it's going to sound like bullshit. No matter what I say.
Yeah, you're a guy who just slept in 2.5 hours.
I now have put myself in a position where I have to earn it back with these two guys who I don't know. And I've been working on this first impression now for a while. And I am starting at a deficit, a serious deficit.
Yeah, you're in a hole.
No matter what I say, no matter how gracious they are, they're going to be like, fucking dick, the number one on the call sheet ends up being an asshole.
I might have been tempted. I don't know if this is manipulative or it's also just dead honest. I probably said to them, you're to blame. I was so
Yeah.
excited to work with both of you that I couldn't go to sleep till 4 a.m.
That would have been a good move.
But
and
I
should
don't
have.
maybe bury it in some flattery.
I should
But
have
also
done
that
it.
might have sounded, they're like, God, this guy's a pathological liar on top of being, this guy's a drug addict.
Probably.
That's what it is. They go,
Just immediately went to, is that what you immediately think everyone is thinking about you is this guy's a drug
this
addict?
guy relapsed.
Turturro was just like, oh, happens to everybody. Happened to me. Like, you know, it told
In the
me a
70s.
story about, yeah, right.
I have so much curiosity about both those gentlemen.
Yeah.
They're in a similar category for me where there's this group of actors where I'm like, they're so intrinsically interesting and
Yes.
unique and different that I almost can't believe they can also act.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're so genuinely authentic.
I can't believe that Christopher Walken like finishes work and then goes home and like makes himself something to eat and watches television and goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Like what?
Or he's behind a guy at the parking garage arm who can't get his credit card to work. And
Right.
he's just there for
He's
12,
just like,
15 minutes.
this guy.
Should I get
damn
out
it.
and try to help him?
Yeah.
He's dealing with that
Christopher Walken.
stuff. No.
So to see him like in the makeup chair, like looking at his phone, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Turturro is similar for me. I remember I went to see his directorial debut opening night in 92, Mac. I think it was 92. Anyway, I held all that back till I got to know him a little bit and then eventually kind of unleashed it all on him.
And did he like it?
Yeah, he's great. He's the coolest and such a sweet.
Who is he?
He would be such a great person to have on.
We're trying.
Oh,
We're
I
trying.
would love.
A fascinating guy and one of the great actors that we have. I mean, he is a beautiful actor.
Yeah.
That's another word I feel is overused. More so like 10 years ago, but beautiful. Everything's beautiful.
I like you describing him as beautiful, and I have often described that whole storyline on Severance to me. It's hard to imagine that show without it.
I know.
It's really the heart of the show.
It really, really is. It's beautiful.
It is
It
fucking
is.
beautiful. They're both beautiful. The way they play it is just impossibly perfect.
They're really close friends and have been for a long time. And it was John's idea to have Christopher Walken play that part.
Oh, wow.
You can just see the love there that they have for each other.
It's
and
very special.
he was really taking care of Chris on set. Not that he needs to be taken care of, but he would come in for a scene every few weeks or whatever. And John was, it was just so sweet and lovely. And that's a rare thing to have someone who is that kind of embedded in our consciousness.
I'm going to put you in that category, which is, I think the most impressive thing about those two from the outside, not knowing them at all, is just going, yeah, man, these two are still fucking starving to make art. Like they're still dying to express themselves.
Yeah.
I don't have that as much, sadly, but I see that you have that a ton. I think that'll be you as long as you want it to be you.
That's very kind of you.
I'll close on this.
But you're doing that here.
I'm doing a different version, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're all storytellers.
I mean, we're three.
There should be a fire right here, you guys.
The last thing I'll close with is just an interesting conversation that we had this summer, and I've played it back in my head a few times to double check it didn't at all offend you. But we were talking about the people that recognize you. I don't know if you remember this conversation. And there is an enthusiasm people have towards you that you have a hard time accepting, I think as we all do. But I was trying to explain to you why I understand it very much so in regards to you, which is I think you are for people what Nicolas Cage was for me, which is this guy isn't the high school quarterback. He's one of us.
Yeah.
And he did it. He got invited to the big party and he's the star of the big show. And I see myself in him. And I think that's a rad space to occupy. And I don't know how you took that, but I know that's how people feel about you. That's how I feel about you. I'm like, oh yeah, the dude I was making jokes with in the classroom about the popular people, there he somehow is there.
I keep thinking about Nicolas Cage walking out on that talk show and doing those kicks.
Oh yeah.
That's on Instagram all the time.
Have you gone down the full YouTube rabbit hole of his compilations of talk show appearances?
No, I should.
He's number one of all time.
He's the best.
I'm just going to tell you, he's talking to Letterman about, he goes, yeah, Dave, I have a King Cobra. It's Daryl or whatever his name is. I just love getting back. I get home from work and I go over to see how Daryl is. And I put up the sheet and Daryl just kind of like, he looks at me and he's saying hi, and then all of a sudden he just says, "Fuck you, Nick Cage!" He just starts screaming at Letterman. He's doing this Cobra attacking the cage, and you're like,
the fact that you thought he was attainable is hilarious.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I thought I could get that wild on TV.
I could see the direct line from Dax to that.
I know.
Nicolas Cage. And I'm sure Letterman loved that. Like, that's what you could do back is go on Letterman and do that.
Yes.
Well, I'll say that is so kind of you to say, and I'll accept it just as much as I did this summer when you said it to me, which is not really at all.
Yes,
but I appreciate it, and you're kind and lovely to say so. And I think that this show as a fan is so great. And it is where you're able to funnel and express yourself in a really direct, important way. And I think you being so kind of actualized and really kind of like you journaling every morning is a really important thing. And the fact that there are as many people listening to this as there are hearing that healthy behavior from you, because listening to you talk about that makes me want to do it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And without being like preachy or self-helpy about it, you're just talking about yourself and how you're living your life. And I think that is incredibly important. And you're doing a lot of good just by sharing yourself in a more direct way than you would have been able to by acting. You're really kind of sharing your insides here. And that's really hard to do. So I'm grateful that you're doing this.
Well, thank you, Adam.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that you're doing this, Monica.
Thank you.
From episode 7 to episode 807.
Wow.
What a gap.
807?
Yeah. 807.
That would be incredible. Rob, what would it be?
Oh, damn.
Oh my
839.
God. That's a lot of episodes.
So I don't want you to let 837 or 832 episodes go by between
for sure.
the next visit.
Wow, that's a lot.
All right, everybody see Severance. It comes out on Apple TV Plus on January 17th, and the podcast comes out on January 7th. 2 episodes initially, and then weekly as the show unveils. Yeah.
2 episodes initially, and then 1 episode per day until season 2 premieres on the 17th. And then season 2 will have 1 episode per week.
Okay, wonderful.
That's a complicated schedule.
I just got to say, this new season, we also add Alia Shawkat, who we're obsessed with.
Love her.
Merritt Weaver, who I loved on Nurse Jackie.
Yep.
Gwendolyn Christie. Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is so exciting.
These casting choices are as good as it gets.
Yep.
All right, that's all. I love you. Can't
Love
wait
you
for
too,
our
buddy.
next chit chat.
Thank you.
Everyone watch Severance.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
He is an armchair expert, but he makes mistakes all the time. Thank God Monica's here. She's gonna let him have the facts.
New shirt.
Old shirt, new attitude.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow.
I got a new.
Who's Roxanne?
Motocross racer.
Oh.
Was that you, Rob? Oh, okay. Did you take a little fall?
Even though you haven't done them before, apparently you can still do them. It's your New Year's resolution.
Great segue to talk about Don't Die, that doc, because he was working so tirelessly on his splits, which I guess he had identified as something that was youthful.
Yeah. Well, limber. You want to be limber and flexible. That's important. That's why people stretch and stuff.
Yeah, it's just such a specific goal, the splits. I can see myself making one like that because a lot of my goals aren't totally logical.
Well, remember, it's Max's New Year's resolution.
To do the splits.
Yeah, and you
Does it
said,
scare
I
him?
don't think he can because if you don't learn by a certain time.
Yeah, I think there's an anatomic reality to all this, but maybe I'm
according
wrong.
to Don't Die guy, Brian Johnson.
That's nice. You remembered his name.
I didn't think I had it, but I do.
For people who don't know, it's a doc about a guy who has sold an internet company and has some $400 million or something.
Yeah.
And is spending $2.5 million a year to reverse his aging and try to live as long as possible.
Yeah, he's doing it with this company where they have steps and it's all in. Like, it's wild. His diet, the exercise. It's his whole life. It's just devoted to that.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish.
Oh, you didn't finish?
No, I got to a part that was a critical part of the story where I think it explains a lot of his backstory and perhaps what led him here. But then I stopped. And then I forgot to pick it back up. And then I remembered we were probably going to talk about it. So I thought, I should finish it.
Yeah.
But then I watched Conclave instead.
I did too. Not in that order, but I did see Conclave last weekend, which is not the type of movie I'm going to run towards because it's the Catholic Church.
Sure.
But I'm going to get derailed by that. I'm a little bummed you didn't finish because, again, there's so many knee-jerk immediate things you want to say about this. And I was just kind of wading through those and trying to resist that urge. And you're watching all these pundits who they have vitriol for this man, like hatred. They're so mad at this man for doing it, which who cares ultimately?
Right. It's his life.
Yeah, he made this money. He can spend it any way he wants. If anything, he's dumping it right back into the economy. So maybe they should be delighted about that. But there's some obvious things. First and foremost, you're right. It appears, at least from the doc, that it's his entire day.
Yeah.
And then, the first question begged for me is like, well, what's the point of being alive if the only thing you do while you're alive is try to stay alive? Which I think is semi-relevant, but then also, no, that implies there's some qualitative way to measure how one's spending their time. I'm choosing to spend my time one way. That would not be pleasurable for me to do it his way. So, for me, that would be a bad cost benefit. But for him, I think he's very, very lonely.
The doc is kind of sad and
sweet.
And his house looks like
a lab.
It's so nice, but it looks empty
and cold.
Yeah,
it's very modern.
It's probably supposed to be cold because I think you're supposed to keep your body kind of cold.
Sure.
And you probably shouldn't have too much color because maybe that's bad for your eyes or something.
I thought about him this morning. I was like, I am incredibly envious of his 30 days in a row of a 100 sleep score.
Yeah,
he's dialed.
It is. But then for what?
I know.
Then the energy you're saving is used to just like do the red light therapy.
Sleep.
And yeah, however anyone wants to live their life, if it's not causing harm to somebody else is fine.
Yeah.
But I did think, spoiler, this is sort of where I stopped, but I got some information that he was Mormon.
Oh, yeah. You weren't really towards the end. I think you're about halfway through.
Yeah, that's probably right. He was raised Mormon and had a Mormon family before he left the church.
Yes, and his mom and dad got divorced, and the dad was had his own struggles.
Yeah,
he loved coke, which made me like the dad right away.
Sure,
and was in jail. Was a drinker.
Yeah,
you know,
he's set up on all of these fronts to need a lot of control in his life.
This overlaps nicely with the Aaron Rodgers doc, which I keep bringing up, because he was raised in, by his account, a very, very constrictive, dogmatic version of Christianity that he found very, very cumbersome, and you weren't allowed to question things and all the normal pushback. But there does seem to be a little bit of a pattern where people who are raised in that and escape it find their way back into another version of it, just missing the deity.
Yeah, of course. It's a discipline. You don't shed your personality that much. I mean, this is like such a dumb anecdote. But when I was home, my brother is like always sick at the holidays, and he was staying at the house, and he like came downstairs and he was like, I feel that thing in my throat where I'm definitely about to be sick.
Yeah.
And we were like, ugh. And I was like, maybe not, maybe it's just a little scratch. You're probably fine. And then he was like, well, I know what this feeling is. And then he went, but whatever. The next morning I came downstairs and I asked my mom, I was like, is he sick? And she was like, you'd know if he was sick. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was just saying, like, he's just very vocal when he's sick. He talks a lot about it. He needs a lot. And she said, you have never been like that. You just went to sleep always since you were little. If you were sick, you just went away and just went to sleep.
Right.
And I was like, I guess I still kind of do that when I'm sick. And she was like, yeah, people don't change that much.
Yeah, right.
And like a mom can see from day one till whatever. You could do fast math if
365 times 36. That's a biggie.
37.
13,505.
Thank you. That's
that
it?
No, it's more than that.
365 times 37?
Is only what?
13,505.
That seems light.
It's not that many.
I did it in my head, so I might be wrong.
Did it in my head. That's something Aaron Rodgers can do insane amounts of math in his head.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, like his one kink is he can square anything real time. You can throw him any number and he can square it, which is cool.
That is
but
cool.
at any rate, he has a very militant, and some would applaud, and I have no actual opinion on it, but he's in a 5-day silent room with no light. He's on an ayahuasca trip every few months. He's
I didn't know that.
If he's not playing football, he is pursuing this spiritual path he's on.
Oh.
But with a veracity that just feels very still religious.
Yeah.
And then I, of course, I'm like, I don't believe there's a guy in the sky. I understand why you're rejecting that. But then there's also a lot of angles of this ayahuasca thing because you get to see him practice it a lot where it's, to me, it's just as, you got to play drums and do the whole thing and the incense and I'm like, well, you're just out in another ledge.
Yeah, and it has similar things, rituals and all of the same things that religion has.
Yeah, I guess you really just, community is the religion. Community is the superpower, the magic power, the deity. I do think when people get together and they agree on something and practice in a way, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to the dude. So yes, he was raised Mormon. And so in some ways he brings that same diligence and work ethic to this pursuit.
Yeah.
But what gets really sweet and sad about it is he's very, very lonely. He had this really bad experience with this one woman after he had been divorced, who he broke up with when she had cancer.
Oh.
And she sued him and said he should support her forever because he's rich. And, I'm like, you don't get a severance package when you date someone. It's just not, even if the person's rich, that's not how dating works. You don't get a severance
You're
package.
not owed.
Yeah. So the guy very publicly got sued by this woman. And of course, people just, because he's rich, he's the oppressor and she's the oppressed. Forget the other stuff.
But also because she had cancer. That's tricky. That's tricky. I think for anyone to hear that, it's a little like, you left her during that?
Well, again, you assume they left because the person had cancer.
Well, no, but the problem is when you leave someone in their time of need, regardless of how bad they are personality. I mean, this gets complicated.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
But you can imagine you've been with someone for a year. You're already on the verge of breaking up, and then they get a cancer diagnosis. So you're just like, I was already out. There's no way I have the capacity to now care for you for 2 years when I was already not wanting to be with you. I don't know. Well, anyways, let's not get hung up with that. He's lonely and he has this boy, and his son and him are so close. And his son also had left the religion. So he's dealing with the same. They can relate on that. And the kid's going to go to college. And you can tell he's really, really scared about losing his buddy.
Yeah.
And all that's really touching. And by the end, I liked the guy. I guess is what I'm saying.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So he does have a company that's helping him, but he's going down to this little, there's a smidgen. It's called like Opportunity Land or something down in Honduras. They've carved out this little Prosperia, I think it's called.
Jeez.
The government granted this little area on a peninsula and basically total free market everything. There's no FDA. There's a lot of experimental medicine happening down there. There's a lot of like crypto-y weird financial stuff happening. It's just
free for all.
It's a free for all.
Wow.
And he goes down there and he gets this gene therapy, which is just not allowed anywhere but Prosperia. So it's like he has got a company and a protocol, but he's going rogue a little. He goes rogue. And when you enter a path like this, I don't know if you can help but go rogue. Because, I'm on the ladder somewhere. Like I'm doing things with the goal of living a long time to see my grandkids. And I'm doing a lot more things than other people do.
Yep.
And they likely think I'm spending too much time doing that or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
And for me, it feels completely normal and it's not taking over my life. And
yeah, again, I think whatever people are doing for themselves to get through life, if it's not
and they're not hurting
people,
anyone,
is fine. I think people, maybe rightly so, maybe not. I don't know. It's a scale of luxury, right? Like this guy gets to, because of his work, he created this thing and he made this money.
Yeah. Got divorced over it, worked nonstop.
Because of that, he has the luxury to devote his life to living forever. And I think for a lot of people who watch that, they might say like, oh, that's crazy. But there's probably an element of, well, why does he get to devote his time to living forever and I don't? I have grandkids or, I want to live to see my grandkids and I have to work a 9 to 5. I could never do that. And so it just gets hard. I would like to do something very self-serving, but I don't really know how else to get the message out. I desperately need a tattoo artist in LA. Oh. I don't want to fly anywhere. I don't want anyone to have to fly here. I want a good tattoo artist who is open to, this is a total transaction, going in and altering all of my tattoos enough that it is now an original piece of work, and then sign me over the rights to that. And I will pay for that so that I own my art and can go short sleeve in commercials again. Got it.
Is someone experiencing cover-ups?
Okay.
That's a good way of saying it.
Experienced cover-ups. Yeah, if you could hit me in the comments of this episode and I'll find you. But I definitely need to sit down and have someone go through and alter every single thing so I can have my arm back. That was self-serving, but I've been meaning to. I don't know how else to solve that.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Anything else? You want any appeals to the audience you want to put out there? You looking for any specialists in any categories?
No.
No.
Not currently.
Conclave. What a movie.
Conclave was great.
Please see it.
I think it's like, a hard sell just based on the genre. It's a Pope movie, kind of. It's really not. It's about the process of electing.
Yeah.
Is that even the word they
electing.
use? A Pope.
Yeah.
And it's so much more complicated and human. It's so human.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even though it's supposed to be godly and above us, it's not. It's people making these decisions. There's ambition
People want power.
and power.
The things I liked right away is they are encased in traditions down to the tiniest things, like the way it starts and the way you take the ring off the Pope. And there's a device that already exists. You put the ring in this thing, you chisel off this one piece, and like that instrument exists. And then the wax press, and every single thing has a way of doing it and an order to it, and all these little devices that go along with it.
Yeah.
I think to add validity and credence to the whole thing. I mean, I think it's very calculated, but there's something I loved about watching all these little weird customs that go along with this whole process.
It's really good.
Shout out to Tucci. He was phenomenal.
Stanley Tucci was in it. Love him so much. Devil Wears Prada, friend of the pod.
Yes. Ray Fiennes is good too.
Oh my God. He's so good.
Can you explain to me why Ralph Fiennes is Ray Fiennes? That still is a big mystery to me.
I'm just not sure.
Okay, but his name is Ralph Fiennes.
Yes.
And you pronounce that Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
That's a huge mystery to me.
Yeah, I guess maybe his parents made that up. I don't know. Because his brother, Joseph.
His brother, I think, is Ralph Fiennes, spelled R-A-Y.
It's apparently a UK tradition.
Is it?
Oh,
It's
it's
like
like
to pronounce Ralph as Rafe. Strange English quirk where something is pronounced entirely different than how it's spelled.
Well, his brother, the actor
Joseph
Fiennes, he doesn't have a fun one like that. He doesn't get to go by like Zoe.
Right.
People do sacrifice a lot for what they believe to be bigger than them. Not everyone does, but a lot of people do.
I'm a little more cynical. I think a lot of people try to do it, and then there's just cracks everywhere in pursuit of that.
Yeah. That's probably true. I mean, again, it's back to the don't die. Like, I think that's fine. Like, that's their decision.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a fairly noble one, whether it's possible or not. I think the pursuit is fine.
Can I ask what's noble about it? Why is it good to not have had sex with a woman?
That's not it. It's giving up your life to the service of something else.
Got it.
Not having sex part is a piece of that they've decided.
Yeah.
That I didn't grow up in that, so I can't speak to it, you know, but they, have their own reasons for it. And
it's a weird one to pick.
Speaking of giving up your life for your sacrificing, I remembered during the fires, they're still happening, but they're getting more and more contained, which is really good. My hot professor.
Yeah.
He was a firefighter before he was a professor. Yes. And it just like occurred to me when I was walking and I was like, oh yeah.
Of course. Scotty had it all.
I know.
He had the brains, he had the brawn, he had the firefighting skills.
He had it all.
By the time this airs, I'll have gone to see the Lions play.
Oh, fun.
Which I'm so excited about.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is it a playoff game?
Yeah.
Nice.
They had a bye week, so they got to sit out the first round of the playoffs, and now we commence.
That's very exciting.
Yes. They're going to play the Washington Commanders.
Commanders, yeah.
Okay, were they not? So they were the Washington Redskins.
Correct.
Which is a no-no for obvious reasons, so they got rid of that name. But weren't they, for several years, Rob, just called like Washington Football Team? Or something?
Yeah. A lot of sports. There's like a hockey team like that right now, too. That's just the hockey team.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They take a little while to name and brand everything. So there's like 2 or 3 seasons occasionally where they're not a real team yet.
It's just so funny. Are you going to go to the Washington Football Team game?
Doesn't have a great ring
there's
to
a Utah Hockey Club right now.
The Utah Hockey Club. That sounds so AAA, or it does sounds really far down. It doesn't sound like NHL.
Yeah, that's true.
Hockey Club. Hockey Friends. Detroit Hockey Friends.
Well, that's very exciting.
Yes. I mean, I'm taking my boyfriend, Aaron.
Fun.
Mhm.
Oh, that'll be great.
We also get to be on the field during warm up and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's very fun.
Oh, I'm very excited.
You're going to be like the McConaughey?
I mean, I don't deserve to be the McConaughey. Nobody can be the McConaughey. But of course, I would love to be the McConaughey.
Sure.
And I haven't earned being the McConaughey. McConaughey has not missed a Longhorns game, I think, in 30 years. He has left vacations. You know, that incredible story I told that Kutcher told me that he heard him partying very late at night in the Bahamas at 4 a.m. And then when he woke up at 9 and turned on the football game, McConaughey was magically standing on the field in Austin.
He knows how to teleport. He's the only one.
Yeah, so I don't even deserve that. But and I'm also wondering if I'll bump into other Detroiters. Like, will I see Sam Richardson?
Yeah.
Or, will I see any of these folks?
That's very fun.
Will I see Eminem, who I've never met?
If they go to the Super Bowl, are you going to go?
No.
Where is the Super Bowl?
New Orleans.
New Orleans
At the Caesars Superdome.
You've been to the Super Bowl.
I've been twice for work. I went once for Ellen and once to promote Chips.
Yep.
And as I said, it's the only 2 times in my life I've been nervous somewhere.
Yeah.
I just don't like what kind of target it. I don't know. I just start ruminating. And then I enjoy the Super Bowl so much, being at home and eating the snacks and being able to actually follow the game. This was even a decision when I was like, do I go to one of the early playoff games or, God willing, they'll go all the way. Do I go to a later one? And I was like, no, as it's getting more and more intense, I actually need to be at my house watching play-by-play with a close-up and hearing the calls and all this stuff because I can't follow things all that well in person.
Yeah.
I'm not great at that. A little distracted.
I feel like football is a newer interest, and that's fun.
Yeah, that's not my sport. I'll watch 2 or 3 games throughout the year, tops.
Yeah.
But I do generally watch the playoffs because I want to be very excited about the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Because I love the Super Bowl just as a holiday.
Yeah.
And I feel like
fun.
I can amplify it if I actually know the stakes and who went through what to get there.
Yeah.
So I generally will start watching in maybe the second round of the playoffs. But the Detroit thing adds a whole new thing. I watched a ton of Detroit games. I put it as a season pass and I actually watched all the games.
I know. I think it's fun to have a new interest as we get older.
For sure. Yeah, I think you got to fight the inclination to stop being interested in anything. I think that's the natural arc of life. You just get interested in less and less things.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Have you seen the coach, Dan Campbell? Dan Campbell's bigger than all of the players. He is he's an ex-player.
Oh, cool.
And he just has an enormous head and neck and shoulders.
Oh my.
And it's really encouraging for your leader to look bigger than the players.
Yeah.
Like at any moment, he might pad up.
I like a coach that knows the game.
Walks the walk.
Personally.
Yeah.
Like at Waffle House when they have to work at a Waffle House in order to be the CEO.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
They
you have to
serve some time.
Yeah, do all the jobs.
Break up a couple thousand fights at 2 a.m.
Exactly. Okay, JJ Redick, the Lakers coach.
Okay.
Isn't he?
We're putting Rob to the test. You know, the funny thing is, Rob knows fantasy football. Is that fair to say, Rob?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have any coach on his roster
I know,
in
but
fantasy,
still,
so there's no reason for him
I
to
still
know.
expect you to know all of it.
I did win Charlie's League this season.
Nice.
You had Gibbs, though, right?
Yeah. I had Gibbs and a lot of Bengals players.
Yeah, so the running back right now for the Detroit Lions is absolutely insanely talented. And he got 4 touchdowns in the Viking games, which was a Lions record. I mean, he is young, very tiny, and unstoppable.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right about JJ Redick. He's the head coach of the Lakers. And this is a sad thing, but I didn't know that. And I saw he popped up on my Instagram because he lost his home.
Okay.
But I was looking at him and I was like, this is the coach? He looks so young.
Oh, okay. This is now the age bracket you've entered.
Yes. Now I'm at this point where I'm like, what is going on? But he is 40. which is better.
Okay.
I thought he was younger than me when I saw, and I got very unnerved.
I think you can measure your age in this very predictable way where it's like for a long, long time, all the players are older than you. Then you have a moment in your early 30s where you go, oh, geez, I'm older than all the professional athletes. And that's startling.
Yeah.
But then you still have the coaches.
Yeah.
And now I am at the age, Monica, where I am older than quite a few of the NFL coaches, which seems impossible. Growing up, those were all old men. And
is part of it also that they are hiring younger?
I think they are.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah. Speaking of age, because we were really trying to figure it out while we were watching it. Nate and I had an impromptu dinner last night.
Fun.
At Morton's, our home base.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying how much he liked watching the clips of Brolin.
Oh.
And just how masculine Brolin is. He just kept talking about how could there be anyone more masculine. Then we were talking about No Country for Old Men. And then I was like, we got to watch that shit. We still haven't watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood together. And then I just had this moment of recklessness. And I go, should we go right now and watch No Country on a school night?
Wow.
And we did. We came back here and we watched No Country for Old Men last night.
Sleepover?
Damn near. He left at like 11:30 at night on a weeknight. But Brolin is 38 in that movie.
Oh.
But he carries himself like he's a little over 40, we concluded.
Okay.
You know, he looks like a man that's been around for a while. And then Javier Bardem.
Oof. Love him.
What a performance. I mean, he won the Academy Award for it.
That was in 2007?
2007.
That's so long ago.
It's so long ago. Woody Harrelson's very young in it. Brolin's 38. Great movie. Very unsatisfying ending, but great movie.
I am accumulating a list of rewatches. I would like to rewatch Minority Report.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tom Cruise and Spielberg.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it tonight. I need to remember to watch it tonight. Well, this is good. We're talking about movies because Adam Scott loves movies.
He's a moviephile.
A cinephile.
A cinephile, yeah.
Oh, also, we talked about words that have entered the zeitgeist that people, atelier, things people are saying too much, really. There's a new one.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, I learned. I learned that elevated is out. People say elevated a lot. Like,
yeah,
it's this, but elevated.
It's high end.
Yeah.
It means high end.
Yeah, but
and no one says that now?
No, we're not. People say it too much.
Oh, I was thinking you were saying it was canceled, and I couldn't wait to hear the connective tissue between elevated and some
it's like
kind of
atelier. It's like everyone's just saying it.
But I don't think, so elevated's already a little pedestrian, though.
What do you mean?
It's not foreign, elevated. Atelier and artisanal, those have the appeal of being foreign and very exclusive.
We were just talking in general about words that are just overused. He even said beautiful when people are like, oh, like it's so beautiful, like using beautiful a ton.
Yeah.
And elevate, I learned somebody said they were so annoyed by that word. And I was like, I do hear it a lot.
My trigger isn't, did I already say about glimmer?
Glimmer?
That was the thing that came up in comments a while back. When we were saying there should be a positive version of triggered.
Oh.
And a lot of people wrote, oh, there is a term for it, and it's glimmer.
Huh.
Yeah. It's when you're activated. Like if you're triggered, you're activated.
Right.
By a word.
Yeah.
In a negative way, generally. But a glimmer is something that activates you, but in a very positive way.
Oh.
Because some fact checks ago, I was talking about being triggered in a really good way.
Oh.
Right. But I was like, the word feels wrong. And then I learned there is a term, and it's glimmer or glimmered. And I like that.
Yeah.
But my specific trigger about atelier and artisanal is it feels elitist. It feels like it's someone trying really hard to sound super sophisticated. And so that's my trigger. It reeks to me of being a snob. Whereas elevated doesn't do that for me.
Sure. I get it.
Yeah.
I get that. But they're not trying to be a snob. They're trying to be elevated.
Sure. Which is a little bit of snobbery.
All right. Where's Skoal manufactured?
Raleigh, Durham.
Its corporate headquarters are located in Richmond, Virginia, and it maintains factories in Clarksville and Nashville, Tennessee, Franklin Park, Illinois, and Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Copenhagen and Skol are the company's best-selling brands, and each represents more than $1 billion per year in retail sales.
This is a little bit tempting for me to get back on chewing tobacco.
No.
The notion that I could be getting it fresh off the line in Nashville is very tempting. Fresh,
Yeah.
minutes old.
You could get it minutes old.
Brings me back to the time we put the roof on the hot dog and hamburger bun factory in Detroit, and we got to have hot dog buns that came right out of the conveyor belt. And they were one of the most delicious things I've ever had in my life. You can't imagine how good they are a second after they're
But
made.
are they? Or
Yes.
But is it? It's so hard to know what's mental. It's really hard to know.
I guess, but then you're kind of getting into placebo effect,
Sure.
which is real.
Yeah. Remember when we went to the
Hawaiian sweet roll.
factory?
King's Hawaiian sweet. That.
And we got them straight off the bell.
And what do you think? How did those taste?
Of course they taste amazing, but I also know I know what I don't know, and I can't know if that's placebo or not. I mean, hot. One is just that it's hot.
But it's like, it's not even set yet. Like the molecules haven't even totally formed. The thing that also made that King's Hawaiian sweetbread factory tour so awesome is that at this tasting station where we were eating them right off the conveyor belt, there was a block of butter the size of that refrigerator.
know.
I've never seen a block of butter that big in my life. It must be what they dump into the mix. And we just had these fucking spades that we were just carving off huge chunks
That
of
was
butter
amazing.
and slathering it all over.
You know, butter sculptures are a thing now.
No.
Yeah, people are getting into butter sculptures.
Oh.
And so they should use that big butter and make it into some sort of
Yes. Chisel away
branded.
every part that's not David.
Okay, is 27 the age you start going downhill? Between 25 and 30. Physical peak between 25 and 30. That's not to say you shouldn't keep working on your exercise and your physique. As you said, you've never been in better shape.
Yes, I think I'm superior to my 27-year-old.
Yeah.
4 7-Eleven chili dogs a day and a 12-pack of beer at night and pack and a half of Camel Lights.
But I guess in some ways you were at your physical peak, because now if you did all that, you'd die.
This morning when journaling, I'm like, what is going on? Like I couldn't sleep for longer than an hour last night.
Yeah.
I woke up with a headache and my body's so sore. And I'm like, what happened?
Well,
Nothing
you've been
happened
sprinting
to
and
me.
stuff.
Sprinting's not helping for sure.
Yeah. And the air's bad. I mean, we all have headaches.
I'll leave this to you to decide if this is too gross for the fact check. It likely is, but at the same time, I am proud as a peacock about this. As you know, and maybe I've shared in the past, a weird hobby of mine is I do like to weigh myself in the morning right before I go evac.
Sure.
Because I'm curious.
You want to see.
I want to know how much that weighs.
Yeah.
And I have been doing that for a year or two.
What's the biggest?
It's never above 1.5 pounds.
Okay.
There are times I look and I go, well, buckle up. This is okay.
Okay.
Never been more than 1.5 pounds. I swear to God, this was 3 mornings ago. I couldn't even finish journaling. I had to go evac. And it had been, I didn't have a couple good days prior to that.
Oh, okay.
The first round was robust. Then I was doing some posting, then round.
Are you going
like,
back and forth, or are you just sitting?
I just stay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in there for probably 30.
I just read that's really, really
People
bad.
hate that. Yeah. They're convinced I'm going to get hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
But
which you've had.
And they can have a good laugh if I get them, but I haven't yet.
I thought you've had them.
No, never had a hemorrhoid. Thank goodness.
You
had
just
an anal
had
fissure.
Anal fissure. Yeah.
I wouldn't believe this if someone told it to me. I got on the scale. I was 197.8. I was on there for a half hour. It's like an experience I never had in my life. Got on 193.8.
No.
Yes.
Is part of it water though?
No, because I'd already peed a bunch.
But did you have
barely
diarrhea?
Little pee came out.
Was there diarrhea?
What do we call diarrhea? It was like
water.
It wasn't water,
but
it was mud.
Then there's water in there.
Whatever the case.
Okay.
I 3x'd my previous. I thought about that every 20 minutes the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
It's like hard to compute. 4 pounds. Like at your body weight, that's almost 5% of your total mass in 30 minutes. I've never had an experience like that.
That is a lot.
It was wild.
Did you feel much lighter after?
I felt so much better. I had woke up that morning cranky, headachy, body achy, got all the poison out.
Yeah,
and
sure.
yeah, I felt good. I did my sprints that day.
Were you much faster?
There's no way for me to know. I just run as fast as I can. I'm just clicking my
clicker. So John Turturro, he said Mac, first movie 1992. Now in the Wondery Plus, I said he was wrong, and he's not wrong.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This is really
I actually think
speaks to how hard it is to get facts right.
No, I actually think if we go back, so I said he's right. Mac 1992. Oh wait, he's wrong. Like I read the same thing I'm reading.
Yeah.
But I think my brain definitely wasn't working that day, but I was like, no, it's Illuminata 1998. So I think in my head 1998 was before 1992.
Okay, but 6 years after.
But actually after.
Upon reflection.
Yeah. So
okay. So he's right.
He's right. Mac 1992, first film he directed.
I'm not surprised he's right, not because I think you're prone to be wrong, but just he is such a steel trap with these.
I agree. I was surprised that he was wrong, and turns out we didn't need to be surprised because he was right.
Yeah.
What's the name of Nicolas Cage's King Cobra? He has two, Sheba and Moby.
Great names.
They're really good names for a king cobra.
Yeah. I already can't compute. Let's get some of the animals that live outside to live inside our house. Although I caveat to that. There are 3 birds that going on now 4 months. It used to drive me a little crazy because I'll be in bed journaling and I hear us whapping on the window.
Yeah, sure.
They fly out of the tree and then they try to sit on a little piece of the window.
Oh.
There's a little green guy. He's a little guy. He's about this big and he's green. And he sits there and he like pecks at the window and he flaps his wings. Pap, 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 pap. Then he goes back in the bush and he comes back out. Then we have these 2 larger birds with a big red crest and long tail feathers. They are also on this one. There's something about this window into the bathroom. And I can't decide if they want to come in or they're just curious or they're confused. I don't know what's going on, but we have a veritable aviary just outside the window now.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you putting out food and stuff?
No, I was kind of laughing at that. Like the amount of effort I put into getting crows to woo crows and to no avail. And I'm doing nothing for these 3 birds and they want to get involved.
It's a life lesson. Hard to get.
Way hard to get. Yeah.
No one wants availability.
They don't. No.
Jesus. All right. That's it.
That's everything.
Yep. That's it for Adam.
Well, I sure do love that boy.
What a lovely man.
He is. He is the loveliest man. I'm just delighted I got to meet him.
And we're sorry that the crickets came in the middle of his sweet moment.
Was it audible in
I didn't hear it.
Okay.
But if you heard it, we apologize. All right.
All right. Love you.
Love you.